tiling for the first time and finally painting the dark green ceiling in a much lighter color. Another reno video is here. Good morning. Yesterday sucked, so we decided today we are going to do something fun. We are tiling for the first time in our lives. And we have leftover tile from the bathroom, mostly the pink. Not sure yet if we're gonna do herringbone. We were thinking herringbone pattern, but that is really hard, especially with going around the corner there. So we're gonna test it out. We're getting supplies here and deciding. After some discussion, we have decided that herringbone for our first ever tiling.
Shortest discussion ever.
Shortest discussion ever. Boyfriend is very easy. But I said this cross, whatever it's called, is easier for our first time tiling than herringbone pattern. Because even putting it on here, like a dry run, was pretty confusing. With all the tiles that are broken, not the full ones is okay. Smeert hem erop. Eerst de onderslagen alleen.
Jij bent de plakker.
Nee, jij bent de plakker voor de eerste rondje. Jij wilde dat heel graag doen.
Oké.
Een beetje zo, ja. Goed zo.
Zit er nog lijm op de muur?
We don't know.
We don't know anything about this. But hey.
It's fine. This is fine.
Just do it. Love hè?
The next time lapse unfortunately was out of focus, but when I moved it, I realized and got it in focus again. It was so fun to do and also so satisfying to put these tiles on. We're doing it! It's happening. It looks really pretty with the dark green though, boyfriend.
Fuck off with your dark green.
We're doing it, as Crystal would say. Well, boyfriend's doing it at the moment. But look! It's so pretty! Oh, it's getting better and better. So much better than me, for sure. Ah.
Fresh lines in the powder.
Look at this! We made this! That is pretty crazy. You know, it's not perfect. Like, the top and not all the angles are perfect. But for our first project, it's gonna be closed, of course, with grout. It's pretty good! Boyfriend made sure to make the tiles fit with this huge machine. We don't have a smaller one, so it was a bit rough, but it worked, and he did great. Boyfriend ordered them new lights, and This too is what we got to go on the ceiling like this. And then the light can turn a little bit and be dimmed.
Dim to warm.
Dim to warm. Next step, installing the lights that my boyfriend has wired all over the ceiling. Woo! So that hopefully we don't have to work in the dark anymore, like right here. Is it working? Yes! Looks beautiful. Wow, het is mooi licht. Wat vind je ervan? Oké, we schroeven ze vast. Kom, poepie, we doen het. Je hebt het gedaan. Het is fantastisch. Er doorheen. Er doorheen. Erin. Draai. En klik. Ik heb hem al. Geniaal. We did this together for all 6 of the lights. One thing I don't like about electricity, apart from being scared to be shocked, is that it is a lot of like very small work. So it's very hard. Priegelig, we call it in Dutch. A little bit hard to do. Kan het wel beter, Nick? Knopje drukken. Oh. Poppetje.
Kijk dan, dikke licht.
Gelicht op ons nieuwe hang. Doe het harder en zachter. Wow! Eindelijk een lichte keuken. Oké, jij bent geslaagd. We did it. It took forever. It's 6 something. Almost 6. But we have lights.
Ja, 6:30.
5:30. We have lights. And they can switch on. And they can be dimmed. And they can aim at our new to come wallpaper. That's going to be amazing. And we have tile.
They dim to warm.
They dim to warm. Apparently that's a cool feature that boyfriend picked. So when they're brighter, they're more white. And then when we want, how do you call it? Ambience. We dim it and it becomes warmer.
Early the next morning.
Good morning. I am back to this, but with no machines this morning because it's very early. Time to sand all the extra bits that I filled yesterday. Wow, I sound like Darth Vader. Wat is er nou? Wat is Star Wars outfit? Now it's time to start painting. And I'm trying to set up a good time lapse for the painting, but because of the terrarium that can't move yet, it's a little bit hard. Hopefully tomorrow, no, today, the things will arrive that we can put new wheels underneath and move it. So that's why we're painting this corner first. Then once it's done, we can slide the terrarium back in place. Hopefully. Wish us luck.
Laag.
because of the terrarium, we can't sand this part of the ceiling yet, so we also can't paint the rest of it yet. But I figured I can start painting this beam because it's not connected to anything else, and it's gonna be that nice green color right away. And then I guess we could also paint most of this already, just not that part. But I think for, I don't know, for painting and then sanding, I'm just gonna start with this beam because it's a small project that I can mentally manage. I thought I'd talk you through our painting prep. First, of course, we remove all the stuff that's in the way, then we sand, then we clean with St. Mark's to remove dust and grease. And once that dries, it is time to paint. Here we are using a different color as the beams are going to be this color called acorn, which is a very light green. And just like the white, it was very satisfying to see the dark green disappear in front of my eyes, especially that first layer. Our neighbor and friends were here for some coffee and a catch-up, and they suggested to use doggies, or whatever they're called, hondjes in Dutch, for moving the terrarium. So he brought over his 2 hondjes, and after a lot of thinking and talking it through, we decided to lift one side up, slide the doggy under, or the dolly, and then do the other side so that it could move safely onto the 2 dollies. With so much manpower, it was surprisingly easy to slide the dolly under. We were a little bit scared it would hold because the terrarium is very heavy. There were some creaky noises, but so far so good.
Hey. Daar staan we dan. Klaar voor?
Yes.
1, 2.
The second one was even easier. I just kind of pushed the beams that were holding it aside, and that was it.
Ik vind het een beetje eng. Waar gaan we heen? We gaan die kant op.
Gewoon in hiervoor?
Gaan we rijden?
Ja. Ik denk dat we een wieltje al voor.
Oh. Hij haakt hier op dat...
Oh ja. Die kan je er ook uittrekken, dat plastic ding.
Lekker geharsteerd.
Yeah. The dollies were the perfect solution. We moved the terrarium quite easy. Wow!
Beter toch?
Beter.
Dank u
Alsjeblieft.
voor de hondjes en het idee. Yes! Kan het schelen! A huge thank you to Jeroen and Tom for helping us and with the great idea. I did not know how to do this before. These are, by the way, also the people we went on holiday with to Spain earlier this year. So amazing people. It worked, and now it's moved, and now we can finally sand the parts that we hadn't reached yet and paint everything. So amazing neighbors. My boyfriend started on this side to sand the parts that had not been sanded at all yet, while I was filling the many holes that were in the ceiling, as you can see. Then he needed to access behind where the terrarium was, so with the 2 of us, we moved it, and this actually worked really well, even though my boyfriend was very scared of it falling over, but the dollies worked like a charm. We put it in the corner where we had already painted 1 layer of white, so that it would finally be out of the way for the rest of the sanding and painting. Boyfriend fixed this smaller sanding machine so that it was connected to his I don't know what you call it, builder vacuum or something, and that made it so that it almost attached, like sucked itself onto the ceiling. He could sand with like 1 finger on the machine. Pretty funny. This is the vacuum. Because the green paint is, well, light green, is interior paint. It dries within 4 hours, so I'm going to paint the second layer on this beam over here. And the white paint, that is exterior paint, that needs to dry for 16 hours. But luckily, we have plenty of ceiling to paint now that my boyfriend has sanded everything and the terrarium has been moved. We can paint all of that. So my boyfriend is starting over on that side with white. And then after my beam, I'm gonna move this way with white. If you don't have to paint outside as well, like we did, I definitely recommend using the interior paint only because that worked a little bit easier. And of course it dried a lot faster. So yeah, we needed the white outside as well. I decided to also paint this second beam in the green because there was nothing white in between. So I might as well paint it green right away and have it dry a little bit quicker. Then I moved on to the white. Unfortunately, I somehow missed a bunch of the time lapse. So here you see what my boyfriend has done already and how we're working towards each other. It is very high pigment paint by Little Green. So it covers, is that the way to say it? just one layer covers a lot already on the dark green. I'm actually impressed. So hopefully 2 layers is enough, but we have enough paint for 3 layers just in case because it's such dark green. This one does have its second coat and that looks pretty finished to me. It looks beautiful. It also feels a lot higher here now because there's no dark green separation. So I absolutely love it and I can't wait to see what it turns into. Also, these little edges are now white. Ah, I'm so excited! Yee. Since it was another really dusty day from all the sanding and sweaty from all the painting, we went into the sea near our house to cool down and clean off. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below if you haven't already. You can click the bell if you want updates for future videos. Leave a nice comment. I always appreciate those, especially for the renovation videos because they are much less popular than my plant videos. And we will see you in the next one, friends. Bye! Thanks for being here.